Hello and welcome. My name is Timp.
Timp, I believe they call me Axeil, but today, you can call me your co-commentator.
I will call you my co-commentator. Axeil, thank you so much for joining me. Very, very excited to be here tonight, commentating along with you as we watch game one of the finals of the Go Mode podcast mentor tournament. This is something that's gone on for, I think, over 2 months at this point officially. And even longer than that in terms of planning.
We've worked on planning this since what, May?
Mm-hmm. So it's been a long journey, and here we have actually, as luck would have it, as fate would have it, I should say, two members of Group C who have battled their way all the way through the bracket to finally meet here in the finals. So that's pretty intense, and definitely excited to see how this one shakes out.
Yeah, the fun bit of this is that they've actually, despite being in the same group, did not play each other.
Yeah, that is interesting. They just happen to sort of avoid each other. But they did share a chat, like a channel in our Discord with just the two of them and two other people. So, and as was the case with a lot of those group chats, they kind of, there was some chatting and they sort of got to know each other. So, these dudes have, sort of interacted in the past and have been chatting for a while. So it is sort of fortuitous that they would, both meet here and be able to sort of settle the score. It's pretty awesome.
I think so too. It's we finally will figure out who is going to come out on top, not only in the whole tournament, but just for bragging rights in Group C. And the runners have had quite a journey to get here. Obviously this is the finals. In the semifinals, and I know we talked about it a little bit in the podcast episode, but we had both our runners get really exciting upset wins to get here. So again, congratulations to them both. It's been a pleasure watching.
Yeah. So I'm expecting any minute now we will see them start. So if that happens, I will interrupt myself and maybe finish this thought again. But while we have a little bit of time here, I want to just take a brief moment to explain how the mentor tournament has worked. So this was a tournament designed for folks that maybe haven't participated in a tournament before, or maybe kind of newcomers to the game and sort of varying skill levels. And the idea is that each of these runners has a mentor that's actually on a voice chat with them that's going to help them through the seed and kind of give them advice, maybe even give them some pointers on ways to pull off bomb jumps and glitches and things like that. So you're actually seeing teams of two facing off against each other. BumRushBlitz is being mentored by tournament volunteer Daaanty, who we've mentioned in a few of our episodes for various things that he's done. He's actually an accomplished DDR runner, which is kind of cool, in addition to being very good at rando. And Elias is being mentored by Chisame or Chisame. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to pronounce that, but we will figure something out here. And it looks like we are underway, so that was pretty good timing on that. Starting off with bombs in Link's house.
I guess we won't have to worry about searching for bombs today.
Yeah, well, at least not for a little while. I know we only have 3 here. That will probably not give us enough to do a full escape here, but it looks like they are both going to go for secret passageway to get started, and also that tree pull here, as you can see from killing the guard. Elias actually missed the guard kill there and is trying to finish the job with some bushes, but wasn't able to get the job done.
But yeah, if you
so do you like this strategy of both runners heading over here to do escape?
I mean, it's what I do, so I can't say that I'm super surprised by it. And obviously I like it because I do it. But I might have expected maybe one of them to try to meta maybe a little bit and do something that they thought the other might not do. But there's also something to be said for doing what you're comfortable with,
Yeah, it's nice start. Unfortunately, did not get very much there, so now we'll see where they head.
Technically skip tree call.
And chat pointing out, how funny is it that we have 2 Moogles going head to head? They both have picked the Moogle sprite, and I believe they've both been using that since the beginning. So it's not like this was just some random last minute thing. They're both Moogle sprite users.
You'll have to kill the bush crab in Lost Woods.
So that's interesting.
which isn't that hard, right? You just
Now, Tim, who's your favorite Moogle?
Favorite Moogle?
Oh yeah, you know, Final Fantasy
Oh.
IX with all the different Moogles.
Oh man, none of them really stood out to me. They were all pretty samey, if I recall.
I don't know. That's what I
I'm a big Mog fan, but that's probably just, you know, classic standard Moogle. And Crab does have some bombs today, so that's pretty helpful.
Nice. Yeah, and a big 20 in the woods. Probably gonna see them both grab that. You know, it's some sort of rod there. Was that a fire rod?
That looked like it was either fire rod or ice rod.
So the fire or ice, I did not catch it. Hopefully, we'll be able to see it here on BumRushBlitz's side. Oh, hammer! Vash is saying that was hammer. We'll get a nice close look this time. Actually, we might not get a lumberjack check on the other side. So, yeah, we'll take Vash's word for it. We will assume that is hammer. So obviously we've got an Agaseed on our hands, which is super fitting because we've had a lot of those in this tournament.
That's well, you know, it does reduce the variance somewhat. You're not exactly thrilled to be going through Aga, but you know your opponent's going to have to go through as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
But if you know the numbers, it works out.
Now, Tim, the one fun thing we could see here is we could see the hammer up there, but then they still were able to get gloves, and so we're able to explore a fair bit of the Dark World before we actually need to go back there and get the hammer. Yeah,
not only might we see that, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. You know, to find 2 gloves is certainly possible, and same with Moon Pearl, and that gets them to Dark World, which is going to open up, you know, in all likelihood, a lot more places you can check. So yeah, there's a very good chance that, you know, that's going to be what we need to do.
Now, I did notice they got the cape here, and that is normally not something that you're too excited to see, but when you know it's Aga, you know you just now need a sword, and you can get in there.
Yeah, I mean, usually the reason you're not excited to see it is because it's an indication of an Agaseed, but we're past that. I mean, now we're just collecting the pieces necessary to make it happen.
We already got the bad news.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, 20 roofs. Never so glad to see you.
Well, there's our first gloves. Yeah, okay. Well, we're well on our way. Maybe we will find that other set nice and early. Let's grab that Moon Pearl and we'll be done.
Glove, sword, lamp is Aga.
Okay, Elias has just enough for Bottle Vendor and only getting bombs. You have to imagine that's a bit of a disappointment. Yeah. BumRushBlitz, on the other hand, would probably elect to do the same thing, but has a better chance of finding some spare rupees in some of these isolated checks before they need to get out of here. Just 10 arrows in the chicken hut.
But yeah, it's a dead seed so far. I mean, the only lead you have right now is glove. Literally glove. So it's your call if you want to do...
Kakariko so far, nothing too exciting.
You know, Tip, I was just going to say the same thing. This has been a pretty paltry seed so far in terms of handing out the items.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we're going to see some really crazy things expected out of our runners here in terms of execution.
Certainly possible. Still haven't seen a sword. Anything, you know, swordless that's being asked is, in my mind, you know, just kind of one step above in terms of execution. You know, not having a sword versus not having. It's not the easiest thing to do in a lot of situations, and I think a lot of, especially newer runners, they're very used to mashing that sword button in a panic, you know, and then being like, oh, I don't have a sword, and then kind of paying the price for that. So.
Yeah, now we haven't seen a map check either from our runners, so no idea right now what in terms of temples they're going to need to do here in the light world.
I believe we did get a map check, and we've got 3 crystals. Tower of Hera is red.
Oh, I completely missed that. Apologies.
No worries. But yeah, we are. We are. That is a good thing, I believe, because, you know, the less pendants you see in the light world, generally the better. I mean, the dark world dungeons are going to be a little more difficult and probably take longer. So if you can have more of those be pendants, that's going to ensure, you know, a quicker finish for you.
Yeah, especially with this being an Agaseed. If the worst case would be all three being a pendant, and then potentially facing the case where you would need to clear all the pendant dungeons just to get to Aga if you need that sword, or you need the mirror or something else.
We know bush crabs. Oh, we can grab that one too. We knew bush crabs were bombs, so.
So yeah, it sounds like we're maybe getting a little bit of bleed through from one of the mentors from the audio, and that's coming through to what you guys are hearing. So I've just been ignoring it. We'll get that taken care of, but don't worry, none of the other runners can't hear that. There's no like problems with that from a tournament standpoint, other than it being sort of annoying for a second. So that has been taken care of.
Yep, I apologize for that. Did not even realize that was coming through.
Oh, Lumaga had an interesting question. Is wondering if you had checked to see how many Agaseeds we have. That would probably take a really long time to figure out, but it would be pretty fascinating to know those statistics. Yeah, the best way to know that is the best way to know that would have been to keep track of that while we were doing the race, and no one had the foresight to do that. So all right, so we've got mini Molderum Cave coming up. That's usually good for at least one exciting item here. Also, always fun to see a bomb clear of that too. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's a little bit RNG based. When you see somebody pull it off just right, it's pretty cool. And Elias does pull it off there. Had to use most of their bombs, but win's a win. And they still have some left over for Ice Rod Cave, should they so choose. I have to imagine they'll probably head up that way. Unfortunately, there was nothing there. That was a pretty disappointing mini Molderum Cave, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, again, runners really not having much at this point. We're looking at a Cape, Bombos, and Blue Mail, and a single glove.
Mm-hmm. Nothing with the Gina either.
It's a whole lot of nothing everywhere.
Yeah. So Elias is going to show us what's at Ice Rod Cave, which would be nice. BumRushBlitz, I have to imagine, probably heading down to South Shore. I don't think they've done all that. Yeah. Where would you go next, Axe?
Honestly, at this point, I would be checking for if I had Zora money. Not that either runner does, but I would consider a fake flipper here into the Hobo, and then going up and checking Zora, just because there's not a lot left to check other than maybe trying to go and dive into Eastern.
That's what I would do. I was thinking Eastern. So Elias just found the lamp, which, as we know, is another one of those pieces of the puzzle when it comes to taking on Agana.
Yeah, that I would be heading right over to Eastern now with that lamp. Without the lamp, it's a little bit dicier just because you never know. But I think that lamp's a pretty good indication.
Yeah. And ZZZ Cube in chat pointing out, we have not seen the back of Escape, and we do have gloves. So definitely somewhere I would be checking sooner rather than later if that was on my tracker as green.
No, they did do the back of Escape.
Oh, someone did that already?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Must not have been anything too exciting.
Yeah, I don't believe there was much there.
All right. Yeah, I would definitely say Eastern. So that's what I would do for sure, personally.
Yeah.
Now, BumRushBlitz, it looks like, they do have the 500 for Zora, and they are in the area. Wonder if we might see that play from them.
I would route it in simply because, they do have gloves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Zora is in Logic.
It's possible.
Yeah. I don't know. We have to wonder. This is usually around the time I start wondering, what that mentor conversation sounds like. Even though I guess technically if I would have listened really hard, I could have heard it a second ago. It was in mine too, but until I turned it off. But yeah, you have to wonder what kind of conversation they're having right now. There are 2 or 3 kind of clear decisions you can make from this point. And, that 500 rupees definitely stands out to me. And, also just being in this area already kind of looks like they might be doing that. Looks like they might be heading back and they're going to do the fake flipper. So
that's what it looks like to me. And
yeah.
Meanwhile, we have a check up on Death Mountain. That's another interesting play with the lamp, but it doesn't have as many options open.
It doesn't, and we didn't even mention that one. I kind of didn't even think about that. Ooh, and there's the mirror.
Okay, that is a lot open now.
Wow.
Up there.
All right.
Because with the hammer in the mirror, you can do all of Death Mountain.
Wow. And yes, also chat pointing out, Elias did not check Lumberjack, so does not know that the hammer is already spoken for. It's in that cave.
That ended up being a play that paid off.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if BumRushBlitz is able to get anything from the hobo here.
Yeah, so they can go now that they've found that mirror where they did, which is super lucky. They can go up and do Hera, but yeah, since that hammer is, as we know, nowhere to be found on the mountain, that's about all they can do. So maybe they'll find something cool on Hera. Maybe it's a vanilla moon pearl.
Well, the interesting thing though is if they do Hera, how do you beat Moldworm? You don't have any weapons.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you'd have to stop before you could even do that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, Elias taking a crack at the Spectre Rock bomb jump, and oh, that was so close. Dang it. Just barely missed it there.
All right, let's see. BumRush, no, you gotta skipping the waterfall.
Oh no.
Oh,
they don't have the Moon Pearl. They can't do it.
Oh, they don't have Moon Pearl, though.
Yeah, can't do it. So that's another reason that maybe this play might not be the strongest, but we'll see if Zora has something. I mean, obviously the tables will turn quite a bit. It is so funny that they're both Moogles. It's like, yeah, the game's always been like this. What are you talking about?
And they're both Moogles with blue nails, so they look identical.
Yeah. And there's Celeste. Love it. Oh, and here's a map check. Okay. Skull Woods, red pendant. Turtle Rock, blue pendant. That's great. And
Fire Rod out of Zora.
Wow. Okay. Well, that worked out pretty good.
And that is, with the exception of required Ice Palace, probably one of the friendliest pendants you're going to see, because you have Pendant TR and Pendant Meyer.
Yeah.
Although
two of the three that you kind of want to see as pendants are pendants in this one.
Although that Pendant Meyer sometimes will have progression in it, more often than you would otherwise think.
Same goes for Turtle Rock, my man.
The bow is always on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, Fire Rod might not necessarily be required, says ZZZ Cube in chat. That is true when you have Turtle Rock and Skull Woods that are both pendants. Might be doing this one without the Fire Rod, which leads to some pretty creative setups in Ganon's Tower that I would just love to see these runners take a crack at.
Yeah, well, the really interesting thing would be Fire Rod is... well, yeah, I guess you can do Ganon's Tower entirely without Fire Rod.
Yeah. Now, I want to point out Elias doing something that we talked about in our Tower of Hera episode. When you don't have any weapons here, you can use those pots to take care of the beetles. Now, he was able to use a bomb to take care of the third one, which is pretty slick, if I do say so myself. But even if he didn't have bombs, what he could have done was drop down that pit and walk back up, and the ones that were dead would not come back, so that he would be able to use pots again to kill the third one.
Yep.
So that's a handy tip that definitely needs to be used in situations like this where still no sword in sight.
And ZZZ Cube is pointing out that while the Fire Rod is not required for Ganon's Tower, you do need to do a very rarely seen bomb jump to complete Ganon's Tower if the big key is on the right side.
Where's that?
That conveyor belt room with the Gibdos and the torches and the light.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's only if it's in those right side chests.
Oh, and there's silvers in Tower of Hera. That's handy.
Very
Not
handy.
progression necessarily, but certainly nice to have. Yeah, hoping for a weapon, probably, Lumaga's saying. I have to agree. It would have been so clutch to find a sword there and then finish it out, get that crystal. But as it is, at least we got the silvers. If we find a bow soon, that could provide an advantage.
Yeah, you'd rather do, you're going to have to fight the, I just totally blanked on the Armos Knights.
Yeah.
At some point, and if you can fight them with silvers, it's a faster fight. Not that much faster, but, every second counts.
Sure. Yeah, we don't know how long it's going to be until BumRushBlitz gets over and gets those too. So, I mean, the more bosses that Elias is able to do with silvers that BumRushBlitz doesn't have, the more time they gain.
But on the other hand, if BumRushBlitz can do Hera in one go, that might make up all the time that is gained by doing bosses with silvers.
Yeah. Arosta asking if there was still an item in Hera. I think so. I don't think they got both items there, but someone please correct us if we missed that.
Yeah, I think the only item was silvers, and they did not go and check the basement.
Basement
obviously.
or the boss, of course. Yeah, I think that was all they were able to get.
I'm really shocked nobody has gone to Eastern here. I know
Same.
we both said I would go Eastern here, and neither runner has done that.
Yeah.
Looks like BumRushBlitz is going to head up to Death Mountain as well. Oh, no.
Doing something else?
Bunk Rocks.
Oh, because we got the boots. Where did those boots come from? I missed that.
They came in Escape.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Yeah, Bonk Rocks. There you go.
Yep. Elias is about to pick them up because they are in this chest right here.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to just look at both the runners' trackers right now and see just how different they are. At 18 minutes in, we've got quite a bit of item divergence. I mean, it's a little closer now because Elias did just pick up his boots, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the lack of that fire rod. Normally, if you did have a kind of typical seed where either you don't have a lamp, so you're going to need a fire source for Hera, or you've got to go and do a crystal TR or a crystal moth or Skull Woods. That fire rod would be a big deal, but because none of those are required, and because they both already have the lamp, I don't really know how much of an advantage that's going to be.
That's true. Well, like we mentioned, I mean, just for Gibdos and for, if it comes down to doing Mothula, obviously, getting in there, that's obviously a worst case scenario. But yeah. I guess I mean to say the Fire Rod offensively can be pretty useful, and that alone can provide a nice little advantage.
Without a sword, that's kind of BumRushBlitz's advantage right now. Is
exactly.
BumRushBlitz has a real weapon, and Elias doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's the only weapon right now is that Fire Rod. So even though it's not progression, it is pulling its weight in terms of opening up some options.
And Lady Boxthief pointing out that the correct pronunciation is Gibdos. I apologize for that.
Please, no.
No, it's Gibdos. That's
whatever. Anyway, so the race is going great. Yeah, it's really been fascinating kind of watching these runners get here. I do feel like it might be a good time to give it my disclaimer, which is that I do have to say I did mentor BumRushBlitz at one point in this tournament.
Oh, boy.
Out of sheer necessity, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. But rest assured, I am 100% impartial here. I'm back to commentary and admin mode, not pulling for either one of these. Actually, pulling for both of the runners, I should say. So,
I want a game one tie.
Oh man, that would be so awesome. That would be incredible. So okay, well, BumRushBlitz heading into Hera. Actually, we didn't think it happened, but yeah, here they are. So they will pick up those silvers, and that advantage will no longer exist for Elias.
Well, Elias is about to find out that it's the hammer.
Yeah, he finally just learned his hammer info.
Yeah. And looks like Elias is hopefully heading to Eastern.
Looks that way. Yep, looks like pretty safe bet.
Yep, and that is the play at this point. I don't believe there's any other plays that are even open except for Hera Basement.
Yeah, which BumRushBlitz could definitely do here.
That's a huge time loss though if it ends up being nothing. But BumRushBlitz
going for maybe they just want to get some coffee. Yeah, just want to grab some coffee real quick. Here's Elias in Sahasrala's closet. Nothing too exciting, just a blue boomerang.
And BumRushBlitz is out of bombs at this point.
Oh.
And out of magic, so
Oh boy.
no weapons whatsoever.
Yeah, no coffee break. They're gonna have to work this shift, unfortunately.
Yeah, they do have their boots though, so they can run away from anything too scary.
Or they could just take the damage. It wouldn't even matter, but it's just more annoying than anything. Nice that they have the mirror too. They can get out of here pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a saving quit from here.
Yeah, if you don't find anything, that's they can't flip the switch.
Oh no!
Oh no!
What are they gonna do? Okay,
oh no!
Daanty's got to be like okay.
There's no. Oh no!
Oh, Black Wax saying there's a bomb upstairs under a pot. See that's what I'm always talking about. If you know that kind of stuff, that is really good to know. You know, it can get you out of a bind. What?
Can you see what Elias just got?
No, what happened? I missed it.
Sword.
Oh, a sword. Oh, okay.
And it looks like Elias is heading straight for Aga.
Yeah, straight to Aga. I would have to agree with that move. I would probably do the same thing.
Now, it's interesting though because Elias doesn't have Moon Pearl.
Right.
So you'll get the hammer, but it's not going to really unlock anything for you because you can't go and do Dark World.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it could be one of those famed or infamous, maybe I should say, Moon Pearl on Pyramid situation.
Oh, don't joke about that.
I guess that's kind of what they're banking on, right? Because we have the knowledge of seeing everybody's checks, and we still have not seen a Moon Pearl. So it could very well be on Pyramid, just because
It could be deeper in Eastern, but
true.
Otherwise, the only other spot it could be is down in Hera Basement.
Oh man, that would be so funny.
If Pearl is on Pyramid, this will be the rare case where you're like, all right, the Moon Pearl's on Pyramid. That's I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's hope not. I mean, I sort of do hope so. I don't know.
One thing that I'm noticing here as Elias is fighting these gold knights is BumRushBlitz will have an easier time there because of the fire rod.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying.
A lot of time. I totally forgot how much time that takes with just the fighter sword.
Yeah, it's a much better weapon to have than a fighter sword. So another nice thing about Eastern is it is another dungeon where you don't necessarily have to have a weapon to make your way through and get all the items, except until, of course, you get to the back, and then you do need to have the bow. But in order to collect, check these 5 item locations prior to that, you can use, anytime you do have to kill enemies, you can use the pots in the room and stuff like that. So no sword or hammer required. And there's a sword.
And
are they going to stay?
They're sticking around.
That was probably Daaanty saying, "Well, you don't have a Moon Pearl. Maybe we should keep checking."
Nice. If that was the mentor call there, that is some excellent mentoring from Daaanty.
Yeah, that's. I'm guessing that was what I like to call mentorjection, where the mentor interjects, or no, mentorvention, where the mentor intervenes in the situation and pulls them onto a different track. Mentorvention. So still no Moon Pearl yet, but at least 3 more places to check. So
yeah, and Elias's lack of a fire rod is I mean, what do you think? BumRushBlitz can gain just on the climb another 30 seconds to a minute just from being able to kill these enemies quicker?
Well, it depends on if they get their magic filled up or not, which would be a real shame if they march in there without any magic. But yeah, I mean, it's going to go a lot faster. Like each of those enemies in the castle tower, I think each of them will die with 1, if I'm not mistaken. I could be there may be a couple that take 2, but it's going to be so much faster than all the slashing you have to do with the fighter sword.
Yeah, and ZZZQ pointing out that the Moon Pearl could be behind the hammer, meaning it could be up there on Death Mountain, on the eastern side of Death Mountain, which, that would be fun.
Yeah, jeez.
And, Oh, Hammer does unlock Moldorm. So could be
true.
on Moldorm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I would not be. That's kind of what we were alluding to at the very beginning of the seed when we found that the hammer was on Aga, was the fact that they might have to go get the hammer to find their Moon Pearl, and
Yeah.
that's still on the table.
Now with the sword, though, they aren't going to have to fight Moldorm with the hammer, and technically they wouldn't need the hammer if the Moon Pearl is there. But we'll see what happens, because Elias will have Aga finished off in just a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the rest of Eastern was a bust, though.
Okay, well, no, certainly no way of knowing that. I have to admit, I mean, Eastern was on both of our radars a lot earlier. I definitely would have checked it all the way through, even if I was in BRB's situation, where it was one of the last things to check.
Now, Timp, I know you said that BRB better, make sure they get some magic.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that is not going to happen here.
Yeah, they might know of a place. Maybe Daaanty knows of a place. Oh, okay. Now they're gonna go get magic.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go.
I wonder where though. They're just gonna check some bushes. I don't believe the tree pool was too particularly helpful. Although we could have access to a different tree pool if he would kill some more enemies. Because after you kill 4 enemies, it opens you up to a different class of items, and it could be something different. So that might have been something to check. Of course, there's this little bit of magic, which is probably going to be like 1, 2 fire rod shots. I think 2.
I think, yeah, 2.
Aresta also pointing out we could check the stun prize with that boomerang, which would be not a bad idea at all either.
Use the best item in the game.
Okay, there's lots of bombs. Okay, I think I think maybe they're worried about their time, and that's certainly understandable. At a certain point, it's faster to just do it now with the fighter sword than it is to mine for magic and then come back and do it a little bit faster, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you just do it on the gold guys, that'll be enough of a time save to be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, at least he's got a couple shots.
Yeah, oh, and Blackwax pointing out that there's really only 1 fire rod shot because they have to use the cape initially.
Oh, true. Yeah. I think that's probably all they were even doing. That, like, we thought maybe they realized they needed magic for the climb. They just realized they needed magic to get in.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. So yeah, now that Elias has the hammer, we can do all of East Death Mountain, which is going to open up the 7 in Paradox Cave and the 1 in Spiral. So very good chance we'll find our Moon Pearl up here.
And Elias going to do Eastside Death Mountain before climbing up Hera. I like this call because you're going to have to go fight anyway, and if you do get the Moon Pearl or a sword upgrade or something else, that'll be much more helpful.
Definitely. Elias being careful to time those dashes so that they don't get shocked. Something I still have not learned to appreciate.
Tim, what would you think the best item to find here for Elias would be? I mean, obvious, is it the Moon Pearl, or is there another one that would be a little better?
Yeah, I think the Moon Pearl. I mean, because that's going to allow us to continue to collect crystals, which is the number one thing that we need to do. I mean, I guess the bow would be nice too for the same sort of reason, but yeah, you want to find the Moon Pearl right now. I think that's objective number 1. Space Poet pointing out the book. I mean, certainly that would be good too, because you can go do desert, and there's a good chance your Moon Pearl's in desert. But if anything, it's just kind of delaying what you really want to find, which in my opinion is like we got to find that moon pearl. It's really sort of the bottleneck right now.
Yeah, now maybe they could find a glove and oh well. Speaking of devil, and there it is.
There it is. I feel like moon pearl's always in Paradox Cave. I feel like that happens a lot. I don't know. Totally anecdotal, but
I don't know. I've never really had a big search for the moon pearl in any seed that I can remember. I usually get screwed over by the bow.
Yeah, that one is popular for screwing a lot of people over as well. Elias nailing that bomb jump there. It's not one of the harder ones, but definitely deserves a shout out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've also never had the displeasure of having Ice Rod on pedestal. So that hammer was required to get your moon pearl, which, ouch.
Yeah. So Elias going to come back and finish up Moldorm. And probably, if I had to guess, not going to bother with the basement after essentially taking that time up already and not getting anything. It's sort of a hard pill to swallow to go back and take that time again and then find out it was trash when there are still so many places you can check, especially now with the moon pearl on the table or available.
Yeah, I mean, again, if Moldorm has an item, then you don't even need to worry about it.
That is true. Hopefully that would be the case.
Yeah, funny enough, BumRushBlitz did not even bother to go up Hera after having the problems in Hera basement. So BumRush does not have silvers yet.
Right.
But I imagine we'll be getting them soon because you got to go up there to get your moon pearl.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Elias.
Dang it. Yeah, just march right back up there. Get it done. All right, BRB finishing off Agana. Or Aganim. I got the wrong Aganame. All right, nice hammer, Moldorm.
I was pointing out that BumRushBlitz had run out of weapons entirely, so there was no way to open up Hera.
Yeah, and it was just a piece of heart on the pyramid. We already knew it wasn't going to be Moon Pearl, obviously, but it wasn't anything exciting.
So where do you think our runners are going to head first in terms of temples? Do you think they're going to go, I would assume, check out Thieves Town?
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, I think that's an obvious first choice to just head over there. I mean, of course, they could maybe do Skull Woods instead on the way. Especially BumRushBlitz with that fire rod, he might be inclined to go further in there. Or
was
not
that
even that. But... Sorry, go ahead.
Green or the red pendant?
I'm pretty sure it's not green. No.
Yeah, if it's a blue or a red, I don't know if it's worth it to go all the way through.
No, yeah, and I don't mean to say they would go all the way through, but it is easier to make your way through Skull Woods when you have the fire rod. It's certainly a lot easier to check the middle if you wanted to do that.
True.
So I don't know. I might be thinking about doing a Skull Woods if I was BumRushBlitz. Otherwise, I think, yeah, probably just Village of Outcasts first. And we did just get to see Spike Cave. Unfortunately, nothing there. Pretty tough to pull off too with the amount of hearts and magic and items that they have right now. So that was Yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't turn anything up, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. All right, you ready for Hype Cave?
Yeah, I am.
What do you think? Hype Cave level 6?
Well, I mean, I like to rate them after I see them. Okay, so we've got a sword, so that's already at least like a 3.
Oh, it's
ooh, hook
shot. Red cane.
Wow. Okay, man.
All right, that's like an 8 or a 9. I would say.
that's an 8. I think that's an 8 right there.
Because they need Master Sword anyway for Ganon, so that opens that and checks that off. They have to do Swamp, so now Swamp is open. Oh no, it's not because they don't have flippers. Whoops. But the Red Cane, actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating the Red Cane since Meyer and TR are pendants this time through.
Oh, that's true. I guess it's not as useful as it would be. You know, we would need it to go right side Cannon's Tower if it comes to that. So.
True. Hey, Timp, a piece of hearts in Turtle Rock.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's really crucial info.
Cool. Yeah, no, thanks for the update.
So, and I did notice that they did get both items out of Hera because the one chest had 20 rupees in it. So,
okay.
The basement has nothing.
Gotcha. So that ended up working out for BRB. Let's see what Stumpy's got.
Stumpy's got the first tracker I ever used.
Yeah, I still use it.
You do? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And another sword.
That makes things easier. All right, so BRB picking up a crystal. And let's see what we can get at Dig Game. So I have this problem with Dig Game. Normally when I play, I turn off all the sound channels except for 8. And so I don't normally hear the do-do-do-do-do-do-do when the final thing goes. So you just have to watch to see the one that goes a little bit slower than the other ones. And that's how you know that you've got the item.
Why do you turn off all those sound channels?
Because I want to hear the sound effects. Oh, obviously it's that. Because I want to hear all the sound effects, but I put on music. And someone pointed out to me at one point, I think it was Xylo Price, that I should just download like the MTU or MSU pack or whatever and just make it nothing, because then the sound effects still work and there's no music. But I haven't got around to doing that yet. So, but yeah, occasionally most of the sound effects are on channel 7 and 8. With 7 kind of being, well, really both of them are also backup music channels for like echoes and things like that. But they're mostly sound effects. So if you leave those on, you'll get mostly sound effects with a little bit of music, but it works for me.
Wow, I learned a bit about Link to the Past sound effects and music today.
Oh, I actually just learned how to do it. It's just a single click on the seed generation page. So from now on, I'm going to do that.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm pretty dumb. A lot of people don't realize that. They think I'm smart because I use a lot of big words, but I'm actually pretty dumb.
I think you're smart, Timp.
All right.
BRB about to get the Moon Pearl.
Man, 40 minutes in, I'm sure they're happy to see that.
Yeah, I don't think either runner is going to set their PB today. I get that sense.
Yeah, it's definitely. Well, when you get a seed generated like this one that has the pendants on some of those tougher dungeons, it definitely helps.
Yeah, I mean, you're maybe excited to see that, but then when you're not getting your Moon Pearl until 40 minutes in, you're like, well, definitely going to be like a minimum 140 probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Now, this is rando. We don't want to jinx it or whatever, but there could be a lot of really useful stuff on Laser Bridge. It's too early, unfortunately, to be calling things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about... I mean, you could have Bow there. The medallions there actually wouldn't be that bad because you don't have to go to Meyer, and presumably if you're already in there, you have the medallion you need. Flute? Ooh, Flute would Well, Flute, actually, they don't need because they don't need to go to Mire. Flippers. Flippers would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Book?
Yeah, I was just thinking, Book is pretty much the only thing you haven't said, really, that even makes sense to answer that question.
Well, yeah, but if they have Book, if Book is there, they have to have already gotten gold mitts, and if they have gold mitts, they can... Oh, I guess they can't get them if they don't have the Flute.
Yeah.
All right.
So Elias just glitched here without the powder to get the magic bat item, and it was just the blue rupee, unfortunately. But it's cool to see that glitch being pulled off there.
Yeah, it's a nice glitch. I like it.
Yeah.
It's rare that you get a use out of the mushroom. And by mushroom, I mean the red cane.
Right.
I knew that.
Yeah. I knew what you meant.
All right, at 42 minutes, Elias is going to be able to go into and complete our second dungeon of the run.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be Thieves Town here. Now, Tim, let's talk psychology a little bit for our runners. Obviously, Elias entering their second dungeon, BumRushBlitz still not even entering their second dungeon, but they're starting to approach that hour mark. What do you think's going through their head right now?
Well, we haven't really been, with the exception of trying to get to the get to Aghanim and get the hammer and finally find the moon pearl. That was a little bit of a kind of bottleneck, I guess. But even that, there were always sort of options. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's the seed's been pretty open so far, and there's never really been a point where it was like a dead end. So I feel like, it's hard to always say, but I feel like I would probably feel pretty good regardless of who I was in this situation, and I would probably sort of feel like I had done everything that needed to be done and had checked everything that my opponent was probably also going to check. I don't think either one of them has made like a huge mistake to where if I did it, I would be like, oh crap, like I need to start checking some really crazy stuff, I think both these runners should hopefully be feeling nice and calm and confident, and hopefully their mentors are reinforcing that. But yeah, I would say business as usual, just got a job to do and get it done. What about you? What do you think would be going through your head?
Well, if I was BumRushBlitz, I'd probably be a little bit tilted about what happened down in Hera Basement.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess that's a little bit of a setback. That's minor though. I have faith that Daaanty probably Daaanty probably did a pretty good job of just helping him get over that.
Yeah, it's not the end of it's not a huge mistake or time loss.
Mm-hmm. Like a little disheartening, maybe,
Yeah, something you kick yourself about and you're frustrated about, but not something where you're like, oh, and the Book of Medora is...
was that in Village of Outcasts there?
Yeah, the hint said the Book of Medora is, and then I couldn't see the bottom
of
the
it was
text.
a hint saying. I unfortunately missed that as well. Book underwater.
Underwater.
That's not a good place for a book.
Well... Good thing we did that hints episode.
Yeah. So, Axe, where are the places they can be under?
Well, it can be. Oh God, let's remember. That would be swamp, right?
Yeah, there are certain ones in swamp, not just like all of them.
Waterfall Fairy, does that count?
Yes, that was added.
Yeah.
Want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Catfish, Zora, Sunken Treasure, the 2 in Swamp House Flooded Room near the back, and the 2 in Waterfall Fairy.
All right, so I did pretty good for
You did
just
all
trying
right.
to recall off the top of my head.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
Oh, chat. You guys
Chat's
are all
being mean,
very
man.
nice.
I'm over it.
Oh no, they're having fun. It's a
No,
it's a Friday
they're
night.
picking on me. I don't like it. No, I'm just kidding.
And yes, I do agree with chat that if Herf was here, he would be setting us straight and laying down the law.
Yeah, I know. He keeps us very on topic.
That's why we gotta, that's why we keep him around.
Yeah. All right, so Elias has got blind coming up. This really will not be an issue at all. You got a full row of hearts there. Even if this was like their first time ever doing blind, they're not going to have any trouble getting through this.
Yeah, and they've got blue mail. This should be no problemo.
And it's funny, with all the divergence, we've got both of our runners in the same dungeon here, about 47 minutes and 55 seconds in.
Nice use of the stun prize there by BumRushBlitz.
Oh yeah, that was a fairy, so that was very good to have.
Yep, that's our stun prize today, and
Yeah.
that's quite a stun prize.
Yeah, that was great. That was really good memory to keep that in mind. That's another thing I would wonder if maybe that was Daaanty chipping in. Not to say the BRB wouldn't be able to, keep track of that and utilize it as well, but I will say, if I was a runner, I would definitely allow my mentor to keep track of some things for me, if that makes sense. Like I would definitely be asking them, like, what was this? Where was that? I would definitely ask them questions like that for sure.
You know what I think would be a neat thing to add to trackers that literally just pop in my head?
What's that?
Stun prize.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool to like notate on there. I mean, I guess you could just leave a note, like an emo tracker. You can just leave notes.
Yeah,
It'd be good to write down.
and there's the ice rod. So, I guess if we have to go fight Trinex, we'll be able to.
Yeah, hopefully that's something we don't need.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Elias would still have to go to Zora, but I imagine they'll be at Zora at some point.
You think so? I don't think I would make time for Zora at this point.
Elias hasn't gone there at all, though. It doesn't know, no waterfall fairy check, no
yeah.
no
If
ledge.
they wanted to make time for Waterfall Fairy, I suppose that would justify it. That whole clump. There's 4 there, and then if they go via South Hyrule, then there's Hobo and check Floating Island and all that. So yeah, maybe they'll choose to do all that if and when they run into the point where they can't collect any more crystals.
Or they could be intentionally saying, I'm going to route that in when I do Ice Palace.
Maybe, yeah, that's certainly possible. But Zora by itself, if I don't catch Zora like in the first 30 minutes doing my light world checks, the only other time I'm going to be back is when it's like the last thing to be checked. Like it takes a long time to get up there, and
Or when you're going to check Catfish, which is what Elias is doing right now because they have the mushroom to drop off.
That is true. Yeah, they probably will do that. So that works out pretty good. I feel like every time I try to do that, I don't have the mirror, so I can't do it. But yeah, I do like trying to, these are all checks that are really spread out and always kind of a bummer to check. Pyramid, Catfish, Mushroom with the Witch, if you have it. So I like the idea when you have the items to be able to kind of round all these in, even though it does take a little while. Nice peace of mind to know that you got them all taken care of.
Mm-hmm. And they get a Fisher-Price sword for their troubles.
Nice.
I guess that's better than the mushroom.
Fisher-Price shield, right?
Or,
You said
yes,
sword.
shield.
I was like, wait, what's the Fisher-Price sword?
Oh, it's Friday.
The fighter sword, I guess, is what that would be.
Yeah.
It's like wrapped in foam. Huh. There's that underwater book that we heard about.
Well, it's quite a get.
Yeah. So now desert is officially open.
As are the tablets.
Yeah.
You can very easily route in the ether tablet there with your trip to desert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so BumRushBlitz looks like is heading to Skull Woods. So probably just if I had to guess, maybe just checking the front right now, see if they can find anything useful. But we'll see how far they decide to go. There's another Fisher-Price shield.
It looks like not much there in Skullwoods. I doubt we're going back.
Yep, looks like they are going to check middle at least. And I can't say I blame them because they do have both the Fire Rod and the Red Cane. So this should be pretty relatively quick.
And that's still nothing. Yes.
Yeah, so in terms of items we still need for Go Mode, because there's some folks asking about it in chat. So we definitely need the bow. No way of getting around that. So we are looking for that. Can't quite say we're in bow mode. BumRushBlitz is going to need to get the book in order to get into desert. Although, we do know that we know where that is. Hopefully they'll be getting it eventually here. And the nice thing about having both Mire and Turtle Rock as pendants is none of the medallions are required. That being said, we do have Bombos to get into Ice Palace, which is nice also. So other items that we might need, technically the flippers are required to get into Ice Palace, but as we know, you can definitely fake flipper in there, which is nice. And then of course the mitts.
So it's mitts, flippers, and bow.
Yes.
At minimum. But I get the sense that we're probably going to need a medallion or the flute.
You think so? To
finish up I can
some
see
of the
that
items.
happening.
Okay.
Just because we've got a lot still left on our plate, and there's a lot of item checks in those two locations.
Yeah. So BRB did opt to go ahead and finish off Mothula, and did so with aplomb, if I do say so myself. It was a great fight.
You know what's a real bummer right now?
What's that?
That BumRushBlitz doesn't have the book to do a ped check.
Oh man, I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Me too.
All right, well, still looking for another Skullwoods item here. I don't think we found any. Is that right? I think we're still looking.
Yeah, I think we got...
Oh, there's the Titan Smiths. Speaking of those.
Well, that is, ladies and gentlemen, a big, great find. Wow, I'm speechless.
Yes, it was a big, great find, to be sure.
Well, so here's the thing, though. I guess it's good that Elias went and did Zora, because otherwise, they never would have gotten that. That's wow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's
Fire
huge.
Rod.
That doing that Zora, loop is
Yeah.
massive, because without doing that, I imagine by the time that Elias would have checked it, BumRushBlitz would have been well ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. That just made Fire Rod required. That's crazy. So chat predictably is trying to find a way to make Ped be a part of all of this.
Stop trying to make Ped happen. My inner Gretchen Wiener.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Stop trying to make fetch question happen. Stop trying to make fetch quest happen.
Boo.
I butchered it, so it's okay. It's like it never happened.
And BumRushBlitz got the butter sword. So we're gonna have a really easy Ganon fight today.
Yeah, no problems there.
I mean, the rest of the seeds not been very nice, but at least Ganon will be nice.
Yeah, sometimes the drama is generated through the Ganon fight, and I don't think this is going to be one of those seeds. I think it's really just going to be about who can find that bow first, probably. Now, we do have a hookshot cave chest. That's usually good for some value. Nothing so far on BumRushBlitz's side. We have a fairy in a bottle.
Flute.
Oh, there's the flute, the ocarina.
Hey, so Ped is could be in logic.
So yeah,
nope, it's not, because that is Ether on Turtle Rock. Sorry, chat.
So yeah, gonna need to activate that flute, and then we'll probably get a Mire check, just because we can go to the shed and checkerboard cave, which is pretty quick. And then, of course, having the flute activated is nice. Just gets you around a little bit faster.
Yeah, now I wonder if BumRushBlitz activates the flute, goes in and sees that Mire is Bombos. Do they dare go in and see if there's something for them?
Say that again?
Well, so BumRushBlitz has already done Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
So if they go down to Mire, and they see that Mire is Bombos.
You meant to say they already did desert, right? Swamp?
Oh, not Swamp, sorry.
Desert.
Skull Woods. Jeez.
Skull Woods. Oh, okay.
I'm
Don't worry,
really
I'll edit all this out. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm old. Got them memory issues.
Oh man. Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, but so they already have one pendant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the least useful of the pendants.
Mm-hmm.
So Mire is green pendant, and I wonder if they're thinking to themselves, okay, if I go there and it is Bombos, I'm gonna just get it, and we'll see what happens in Mire, because then I'm only one pendant away from having all the pendants, and if I have to go to TR anyway, you might have to get all the way to the back. I mean, I don't know. It's a real shame they did not have that book.
Axe. Did you see what's on Ped?
Wait, what?
It's bow.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay, that sucks.
Yeah, that is a tremendous bummer.
So we got. It's appropriate. This is the finals. We got not only an Aga required seed, but an Aga all dungeon seed with pendants at TR and Mire. Good God!
Wow, I just can't believe that the game one finals has the one thing that everyone always jokes about, which is bow on Ped. God.
I mean,
What a nightmare.
Just speaking statistically, this is really, really rare.
Yeah.
So Aga seeds are what, a third of your seeds, and ped seeds are what, like 5%?
Uh-huh.
So we're talking about something that has less than a 2% chance of happening?
Yeah. So we've got this Nightbot thing in our chat that keeps timing people out for using all caps. Is there a way we can turn that off? Because I don't care if people use all caps.
I don't know. I don't know how to...
I don't know enough about Twitch to make it happen.
Yeah, Nightbot has assumed control.
Yeah, sorry, everybody. Maybe I can try to turn it off. Hey, we're going to be here while dungeon, so I might as well fix it now.
Yeah, everybody, go get a drink of choice. It's gonna be at least another hour.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll. I'm got some nice beers over in the fridge. Maybe I'll go pop one of those. Give me a second.
Man. Ooh. Elias taking a fall on that room and then almost snatched by the Wallmaster. That would have been a bummer. Oh wow, that's kind of cool. I like seeing Elias use the Bumbo strats to get those jib dose taken care of. That's pretty cool. I always forget that I have those when it comes to like room clearing and stuff. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I went and got a beer temp.
That's fine. That's allowed.
I will say that any Go Mode podcast listeners who are under the age of 21, though, we do not endorse underage drinking. So, don't do that.
Right, of course, obviously. Yeah, I think I would have to log out of Twitch and log back into the Go Mode podcast account, and I don't want to do all that right now. So everybody just use your inside voices in chat, and you won't get timed out for 5 seconds.
Yeah, just put a lot of exclamation marks afterwards if you're really excited.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a thought I just had. BumRushBlitz has already done Skullwoods.
Mm-hmm.
BumRushBlitz has already checked everything that is there to check. When do you think he's going to go check Ped?
Oh man, I mean, I think it's going to be a while, unfortunately. I think they're going to continue to clear crystals, as many that they have access to for as long as they can. But I think it's going to be quite a while before they make their way back there, honestly. I would be for me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's sort of in their favor is they already have one crystal, or one pendant, so maybe they just say, screw it, I'm going to do all of them. But that's... Yeah, oof.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not, though.
Yeah. I'm excited to do interviews for this.
Oh, yeah, that should be interesting.
Oh, jeez. I'm just like... I'm like at a loss for words here.
Yeah. And I mean, it kind of takes all the like speculation out of everything we really could talk about, because now it's just like, well, just beat all the dungeons and pull the ped, and
it's really about item sequencing.
Yeah.
So BumRushBlitz is going to dip pod here, and unless Ether's in pod, that's a huge, huge mistake. I guess maybe Flippers.
Yeah.
But Ether is the only thing that would guarantee that you would have to do a double dip. Actually, what Ether or... I missed what is Myers Quake. So Ether or Quake.
Oh yeah, that's true. That does add we need to get medallions now in order to truly be in Go mode to be able to get into those. So just added items to our Go mode list. And the Flippers, of course.
Yeah. Well, it was really funny because what was it? 10 minutes ago, you and I were like, well, they're only really 3 items away. This could be, not too bad. And
yeah.
Well,
we were excited because of the pendants on Turtle Rock and Meyer, but that doesn't matter anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, nothing matters, Tim.
Nothing matters, yeah.
It's just, Yeah, I'm gonna take a swig of beer.
For effect.
Yep. It's some Trader Joe's
Oh,
knockoff
nice.
Corona.
Excellent. I'm not a big fan of those like store brands.
Trader Joe's, I don't know, they're everything Trader Joe's is store brand, so
Yeah, I like Trader Joe's. I guess I mean specifically beer.
yeah. So I don't know. This is where we're at now. We're talking about grocery stores because there's there's not much to speculate on. It's pure execution and routing at this point. There's no it just comes down to how you sequence things.
Yeah, well, we do have BumRushBlitz checking out Pod, which we have not seen yet. So let's see if Pod maybe has something interesting here for us to check out.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're hoping for us who are watching, who want to see a close race, you're hoping that they find a medallion here because anything else means that there was not a required double dip into Pod.
Yeah. That was a vanilla big key too, by the way, which is sort of rare to see something there.
Yeah, that's you don't see vanilla big key very often. Does BumRushBlitz have a potion?
Yeah, I believe I saw them release all of their fairies and pick up a bunch of blood potions.
So they can do the glitch here.
Yep. And of course is the bottle glitch, which you use to despawn the mimics in the next room. All you have to do is walk to the left and use a potion, and then when you walk in here, you kind of hug the wall. As you can see, the camera moves. Get these mimics to walk out of the way, and the game thinks that they're dead, so it opens the door for you. Pretty nice.
Excellent coding, Nintendo.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah, actually, they need to put more bugs in their games.
Things we can exploit.
Yep.
For speed.
Yeah, I mean, people are still finding all kinds of bugs in all sorts of games.
Yeah.
I saw in Super Mario Brothers 1 they found a new glitch that they can somehow exploit to cut the world record time down even further.
Oh, wow. In Super Mario Brothers 1?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Which at this point everybody thought was almost perfect. And I think it cuts like a quarter of a second off the theoretical max or minimum time.
I mean, when you're talking about a game like that, that's going to be pretty optimized, obviously.
Yeah, I believe they, because I remember reading something about it, and they were comparing a perfect task to the human run, and I think the discrepancy was like 80 frames or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Could you imagine if Link to the Past was like that?
I could. Hey, guess what BumRushBlitz just found in Pod?
What?
That would be Ether.
All right.
So, major find there, and really, you don't want to start saying that's saving the game right there for BumRushBlitz, but it's big. If you double dip Pod and you don't need to, with the seed being all dungeons required at this point, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it could prolong things for sure. For Elias. And the flippers in Pod as well.
That's all right. That's great. Now they can go do Ice Palace, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I'd go to Ice Palace.
Yeah, that actually would probably be pretty good.
You probably want to go try to. Well, except okay, if you can go about Ice Palace, it's so much faster.
That's true.
Yeah, they're going right to TR. I think that's better than Ice Palace.
Yeah, because you have everything to do it, and obviously you need to do it, and there's never really going to be a good just like get up there and do it. So yeah, I think that makes sense. That I like that play.
Well, and there's lots of item checks, and you still need Quake.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Well, I was going to say BumRushBlitz probably is thinking still needs book, but they've got gold mitts and a flute and the mirror, so they could just go on the back door.
Yeah.
But they're not going to check Ped without that book. Now, we did see that all the tablets had nothing, but yeah, I don't know. Book I think is a little more important than usually because of the knowledge on Ped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Elias is not aware of the nature of the Ped right now. Or I'm sorry, a BRB is not aware, is what I meant to say.
Elias is, BRB
Yeah,
is
Elias is, BRB is not.
But BRB has more items at this point because of the pod for what will effectively be a forced double dip into pod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy that it ended up working out like that.
Yeah.
What a complicated seed this is.
It ends up being really linear.
It is, yeah, it is linear, but there's a lot of steps to be able to get this done.
Yeah. We did just see that, thank God at least, we don't have to do left side swamp.
Oh, nice.
Small miracles. There's
Very
a map
nice.
and a compass there.
Ooh, that's beautiful. That's the dream when it comes to left side.
Yeah, but I think I'd rather do left side than what our runners are having to do today.
Yeah. Wonder where half magic is. That could be in Turtle Rock. I mean, it could be anywhere, but that'd be a nice find at this point. I mean, I'm just kind of trying to think of things that we haven't seen yet that, you know, we could still turn up that could even be useful. Also red mail.
Well, that's, again, like, we're going to have a really, really easy Ganon fight.
Mm-hmm. BRB using some iframes from the hook shot to get through the crystal rollers. Doing a pretty nice job with that. Has to sort of do that because their health is pretty low right now. In fact, they've got one heart. Ooh. Oh no, they shouldn't have dashed. Oh, dang it.
I mean, I would have maybe just considered taking the intentional death there.
Maybe it was one of those things where it's like, if I die, fine.
Yeah,
I'll just pretend like I meant to do that. It's pretty much the same length of time anyway.
Yeah, no real time loss.
Yeah. Yeah, we sort of debated that when we had our Turtle Rock episode. That very situation. Is it faster to death warp or walk back? And I think what we decided was it depends on the amount of health you have. So there you go.
So, and Elias is going to get those flippers and that medallion.
Okay.
Unless,
heading into pod. Very good.
Unless they get one item and decide to leave.
Oh, yeah, I suppose they could.
That would be very bad.
It would be a tragedy. That would be a triple dip.
Don't do that.
All right, BRB handling the chain chomp room, the deadly chain chomp room, getting out with their life. Not unscathed.
Poor Bow Wow. Just has to hang out in TR, in a really boring room.
That's not Bow Wow. Bow Wow was a named NPC in Link's Awakening. Neither one of those would ever be Bow Wow.
Bow Wow's a chain chomp.
Bow Wow is a specific chain chomp. Not every dog is Rover. You don't just go like, oh, hey, look at that Rover. Rover is a dog's name.
But isn't Link's Awakening all about a dream that Link has after, the events of Link to the Past? And
yeah, but what does that have to do with the Rover dog thing?
That's what he's remembering. He's remembering his chain chomp friends from Turtle Rock.
But he remembers. You know what? This conversation's over. I don't want to have this fake argument anymore with you. I just want to be friends again.
Tim, we're always friends.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Aww.
All right, so Elias making their way through pod here. Still remains to be seen what they're going to do with these two items here. They need to find the first before we can find out if they're going to stick around for the second or not. Oh, I love that bonk right there to get over.
Oh yeah, that's a good bonk.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, let's see. Maybe we've got something here. Oh, not gonna check. Interesting. Just gonna skip Mimic Cave. That's.
Oh, we got a hint earlier that Mimic Cave was trash.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Bruce, maybe. Yeah. That must have
That's
been
why.
BRB that saw that, yeah.
Nice hook shot there by BRB.
Yeah, that's a pretty slick strat as well. I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that to my my repertoire.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Oro confirming Piece of Heart in Mimic. So not something worth taking a detour for. So I'm a little jealous. The watchers of this race right now are getting to listen to the Cadence of Hyrule soundtrack, while for us it's just stark silence.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Vash for entertaining the viewers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
Huge shout outs to Vash for setting up this restream for us, kind of being our restream wizard for a lot of this tournament. We started restreaming, I think, in week 2 was our first one, and he helped out there, and he's been helping out ever since. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, Vash.
BRB dealing with these lasers best they can. They did pick up the safety door. Looks like they're probably going to be warping through that here pretty soon. Handling these last 2 lasers pretty nicely.
Yeah, this
though.
is great laser
Yeah,
execution.
that was good.
Oh,
there they go, taking the hit.
That's commentator's curse.
Yep. Sorry about that, BRB.
And Elias does get both items out of pod.
Stuck around with both. I lost focus for a second because I was watching this laser bridge, but yeah, they did stick around for both.
And
speaking of the laser bridge, nothing too exciting.
If there is an item in TR, it's got to be on Trinex.
Yep.
That would be a real shame if there's nothing in here, because we're starting to run thin on checks. I guess you'd do. Would you do Ice Palace next or Swamp? I'd do Swamp next. Because the left side's a bust.
Yeah, that's true. Swamp is faster with that knowledge.
Yeah.
It's also a little
Palace,
easier. Maybe you find or I don't know, something else is going to help you out.
Yeah.
I guess it's sort of a matter of preference, but
yeah, I mean, the other thought I had is if you can go mode Ice Palace, that's a big time save.
Absolutely. That's very true. So yeah, probably Swamp first. I like both those reasons you gave.
Yeah.
All right, BRB getting the quick spin on Trinex, taking it out before it can even take that second corner. Very nice fight. A few little slashes at the end just to show him who's boss. Little tip for those watching: once you finish Trinex, the item always appears in that same spot. It's like the middle of the room and then down like a square. So you can save a little time by already being there when the fight finishes.
Yeah. Now it looks like Elias is going to Ice Palace. Nope. I'm sorry.
No, this is It's they're gonna
They're
finally check waterfall cave. And get their blue cane. Blue cane kind of sounds like Liu Kang.
Is that the Street Fighter character?
No, it's Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
The Bruce Lee kind of
I have
knockoff.
some shameful news to admit, Timp.
What is it?
I've never played Mortal Kombat.
Oh man,
I just never did. I only played Street Fighter.
They're both great. I mean, they're for different reasons, really.
Yeah. Hey, Timp, Ether's in Palace of Darkness.
Oh, cool. All right, thanks for the info.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Hint.
Thanks, Hint Tile. Yeah, nice.
Would have been really nice if that was Quake.
Yeah. Would that have been too much to ask for it to just be exactly what we needed?
That's the only thing we're looking for at this point, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, let's think. Where could it be? So obviously, swamp and ice. Is that it? It's got to be one of those two.
Yeah, I can't think of any other overworld checks. We got all the like weird one-off ones, as far as I know.
Did we do lunchbox?
Yes, I did see someone do that. I don't think it was anything too exciting. It was like a heart piece, maybe. But yeah, it's nothing. So yeah. Oh no, I don't think we've seen Shovel. Oh well, then again, they both have it. Have we seen Shovel? I honestly can't remember.
I can't either, but
I don't think we have.
We're getting dueling temples here, so it's either going to be showing up on BumRushBlitz's screen or Elias's screen. And
Ether tablet up on the mountain.
No, I saw Ether tablet. I thought it was 20 rupees.
Was it? I don't remember that one either.
But yeah, so here's
Okay.
how this goes. If Elias is correct and it's here in Swamp, that means BumRushBlitz will have done the long version of Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that since TR doesn't have anything, if Elias goes up to TR, they're going to be able to do Ice Palace Go mode. If it's here in Ice Palace, I don't really think that changes that much. It is an Ice Palace.
There it is.
We are in no mode.
Yep.
But guess what?
What?
BumRushBlitz isn't in no mode because BumRushBlitz hasn't checked pedestal.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's still looking for the bow.
Oh.
Okay, cash in a chest requiring a specialist. So that's what that was, which is cash.
Well, let's think about this. Is that actually going to have that much of an effect? So they're going to go and they're going to get these items here that they don't need in Ice Palace.
Yeah.
But it's not that much of a detour. I was just... If they go to Swamp, they've got to go through there anyway.
So I was just thinking what Arusta just said in chat, which is that they don't even have their books, so they couldn't even do a ped check. I mean, we're talking about a blind ped pull, essentially, until they go up and go to Catfish.
So here's what I'm wondering. They got that Quake and were like, all right, oh man, the psychology here is fascinating. So
I know, it's hard to keep track of, to be honest.
So BumRushBlitz is in a situation where they're like, okay, I know I need to do Ice Palace, so I'm just getting that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I know I need to do Swamp at some point, and I know I need to do Pod and Eastern. I've already checked everything I can in Pod.
Mm-hmm.
I am guessing BumRushBlitz is thinking I'm going to try to route those two together. And I just got Quake, but it's for a Pendant Mire. Why would I go to Pendant Mire? So I'm wondering if they go to Swamp, they clear that, and then they're faced with, I guess I have to go do Pendant Mire. They do everything in Pendant Mire, and then I'm guessing actually they are going to probably blind pull the pedestal. Wow, that would be... Because where's the book?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I feel like they'll probably make their way to Catfish to just make that check to get the book before they blind pull ped. Because you have to do a lot to get those pendants to get to a point where you're doing that. I'm not saying that's impossible. You certainly could be right, but I would bet against that.
But I mean, are they even going to bother checking ped? Because let's say they go to Catfish, they get the book.
Yeah. Okay. If they're
like, all right, well, it's either on ped or it's Mire. Either way, I got to go do Mire.
Now, I could see them getting the book and then not bothering to read what's on ped and just saying, okay, I see the writing on the wall. I'm going to assume like I need to get ped. I also am going to check all of the items in these pendant dungeons as well.
Right, like that's what I'm thinking. They're going to say, look, I've got to go to either it's on ped, or it's in Mire. Either way, I have to go to Mire. So
Yeah.
let's go to Mire, grab all the chests, and then if I still don't have it, okay, it has to be on Ped.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I don't. It's
So I mean, it would be
hard
like
to say.
it would be a blind Ped pool, but it'd be a blind Ped pool where they're like, well, it's the last location.
Yeah. It was kind of inevitable at that point.
I imagine they would be very salty about that, though.
Oh, for sure. It could keep them in the game, though. It could be what they need to be able to,
Yeah, I mean, so right now, kind of looking at it on paper, I would say Elias has the advantage just because of that knowledge about Ped.
Mm-hmm.
But, actually, this is very risky right now for BumRushBlitz, but good potion use.
Took a potion, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very clutch. It's
yeah,
easy to feel like you're invincible with that butter sword.
Oh, yeah, and so I just noticed something here. Why is Elias checking left side swamp?
Yeah, must not have been the one that found that hint. It was BRB that saw the hint about swamp.
This is okay. So what I was going into was Elias, I would say, has the advantage right now just because of knowledge. But
wait, what's going on their stream? Frozen?
Yes, it looks like
or both are.
They both are.
Maybe we need to refresh.
I'm gonna well, no, the stream's still going. The timers are.
Oh
going.
yeah, it is. You're right.
Well. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I assume Vash. Yeah, Vash is
working on it.
All
so
right.
I'll continue what I was saying. So
Yeah.
So Elias has the advantage just because of that Ped knowledge. However, because of how BumRushBlitz has routed this, it's not that much of an advantage because they're going to probably go to Swamp. They know they don't have to do left side, so they'll go to Swamp. They'll see that, okay, I don't have bow. The options they'll have is either going up to Catfish and getting the book or going straight to Mire. If they go get the book, they're going to say, okay, I can either go check Ped or I can go to Mire. But Mire's a pendant. So why would I go check Ped and not just go to Mire? So assuming BumRushBlitz routes this the way I think they're gonna route it, the knowledge advantage Elias has pretty much disappeared.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I'm gonna applaud a little bit for the way that BumRushBlitz and Daaanty have routed this, because they could have been in a situation where they had some very unenviable decisions to make. Like, imagine if they had gone to Ice Palace before going to Turtle Rock. All of a sudden, then they're thinking, okay, I can either go to Mire, Swamp Palace, or Turtle Rock. And they wouldn't know that Swamp Palace left side is not needed. So, just by how they did this, it worked out really well. And Pod had the flippers and a medallion, so I guess they kind of would have had to end up at Pod anyway eventually.
I mean, Pod is always a good option of a place to check whether it's a, crystal or pendant, or, kind of no matter what the situation. It seems to be one of those places where you can find some progression a lot of the time. So.
Right. I mean, the only real downside would be as if they went and checked Pod and double dipped it without needing to.
So yeah, as you point out, despite the kind of disparity of knowledge between the two, BRB and Daaanty are still hitting all of the points that they're going to need to hit for this, Ped seed, all dungeon seed, essentially. So even though they don't have all the info, they're still very much kind of keeping up the pace in this race.
Yeah, I mean, and so Elias has 5 more dungeons to clear, although I imagine at this point they've probably finished off.
Probably has finished Swamp by now, yeah.
Yeah. So they finished, I think they had finished Swamp. But BumRushBlitz only has 3 left. Now, that's pretty big. because you look at the ones that are left. So BumRushBlitz has obviously Pod and Eastern Palace, but then it's just Mire and Swamp. So that's their 4. Meanwhile, Elias's 5 are Eastern and Pod, and then Ice Palace, Mire, and TR. And we know that Ice Palace, you can't get any time advantage there by go moding it. Now, maybe they do Ice Palace before they do TR, and then they're able to skip Laser Bridge and TR. But I mean, that's about
it seems almost trivial at that point to say,
that's not much.
Yeah, it's not that much time really at that point.
No. So again, Elias had an advantage because of that knowledge, but because of the routing of BumRushBlitz and Daaanty, that advantage just kind of evaporated, and I would say BumRushBlitz is in the driver's seat at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just a crazy seed. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a seed that is both forced aga and not just pedestal required, but a really, really key item like the bow is on pedestal. I mean, have you ever...
I've never seen bow on ped. I don't think ever.
Yeah, it's quite a thing. I mean, is there an item on ped that would be worse? I mean, Ice Rod is bad, but
yeah,
given the sequencing we had of pendants and crystals, there was not much. That's not possible. So, I mean, maybe the hook shot.
Yeah, hook shot would be pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, hook shot would be bad, and I mean, flippers would be weird.
All right, so while we're working on the technical difficulties, I apologize, I've been working on something. I just posted a link to the multi-stream. We can at least watch that until Vash is able to sort out the restream, and then we'll switch back to the restream. This way we can at least see what's going on and keep updated with our runners.
Yeah. So let's see. BumRushBlitz just checked Pyramid Fairy. I totally forgot about Pyramid Fairy.
Oh yeah.
So I guess that does cut into the kind of lead that BRB had a bit.
Yeah.
And it does appear that Elias decided to go up to TR before Ice Palace. So no real time change there. And here we go. BumRushBlitz is going to do Mire.
Mm-hmm.
Still never got that book, so skipping Catfish entirely.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right. They're going to full clear this. Like, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, they're absolutely going to full clear, and then they're going to say pretty much, well, okay, it's either at Catfish or Ped. Might as well go check Ped.
God, I would love to hear their reaction when they blind pull Ped and get the bow.
I think it's going to be just... It's probably not going to be safe for work. It's just going to be, if you clean it up, it's really, you can't, it's just a whole bunch of curses.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, I don't know, because, like, if I blind pulled it, when you blind pull, it's saying, like, okay, this is sort of a long shot, but, like, maybe this is something. If I did that and it was like, yeah, it's something, all right, it's the bow, I think I'd feel pretty good. Honestly, I don't think I would be mad at all. I think I'd be like, ah, damn, like, I made the right choice.
Although at that point, it's a 50-50 play at that point. Because it's either on Catfish or it's on Ped. Now, I guess maybe they could be thinking, okay, it could be Catfish or Waterfall. But they're right next to each other. So, all right, 1 and 4.
Yeah. And Catfish has book, as we know. Book opens up a couple other checks, so they could even, technically it's not a 1 in 2 chance because that book opens up other things and gives you more options. So it's actually sort of, in a weird way, kind of like a 1 in 4 check. I don't know.
Yeah, although I guess they have to
it could be
know that
worse.
the book is one of those 3. Assuming, I'm assuming that they check everything here, and they remember that they had the hint about book being underwater.
Yeah. Now Oro does mention, that hint that the book was water, should tell them if they use process of elimination and they know what all of those locations are, which we had to look up, but maybe their mentor could look that up for them. For instance, I think that's perfect example of a way a mentor could help out.
Perhaps they should put the Go Mode podcast on in the background.
God, that would be so confusing.
I don't know if that's too many mentors then.
Yeah, that's too much going on at once. Let me just check that.